So what's all this about? Well, it's been a while since I last made a video. Everything's changed, of course, in that time. It's all digital now, and that tends to mean it's smaller, cheaper, easier to use. So I'm going to show you what I take with me when I'm out on tour. And what do we have here? Well, we've got playback, MacBook Pro, of course, a copy of Roslyn, got a trackball because the mouse tends to bounce when it gets a bit loud, and this wonderful Novation Launch Control XL, which has got more than enough sliders and dials and what have yous. Moving on, we've got power, 6-way anti-surge with 2 USB outs, coming very handy. And then the signal. I always work in HD SDI these days, which is great because it gives you the option of switching everything to 50 Hz if your gig's being filmed, and you don't get those horrible scan lines on the screen on the camera. So how do we do that? Well, I'm a big fan of the decimators. I've got 2 of these, the MD-LX. They're great just for converting straight from HDMI to SDI. And I also use the MD Cross if I need to do any scaling or what have you. I've also got this wonderful little data path gadget, the DAC70, and that converts VGA into either HDMI or SDI. It comes in very handy. What else? We've got some Cat6 links so that I can use NDI between computers, which is really handy if you want to do something kind of memory intensive, or you've just easier to run a different app on another computer than use Siphon, I find. I've got this USB battery, also really handy for those get out of jail occasions. And I also throw in the bag this Tascam DR100, which I very often use to record the shows for the band. As for tools, they all live in a little bag on their own. I'm a big fan of Leatherman Wave. I've got Swiss Army Champ, bolt stick, Stanley knife, lots of PVC tape, head torch of course. We've also got this wonderful Big Larry, which has got a magnetic base, and it's just a portable work light. It's absolutely fantastic. Also, Sharpie, Paint Sharpie. Paint Sharpies are great for writing on these Peli cases that I put all my equipment in. Most important thing in the kit, set of pelters. They keep it all out, and I tell you, you don't want to lose your hearing, and it's so easy to do. You know, you end up working in nightclubs for a couple of years. Next thing you know, you've got tinnitus, and it never goes away. Also, work light, absolutely essential when you're working backstage in the dark. All this goes in the Peli case, of course. It goes on. I always bring my own table, drum stool, which folds up really small, and of course, I take my own carpet these days because why not? Wouldn't leave home without Godzilla. That's just how it is, you know. I don't make these rules. At the projection end of things, I'm a big fan of ultra-wide projectors. You know, you can put them anywhere on stage. You get a really big image from just a few feet away. I use these Optoma 3Ks, very often pair them up. I've got a 6.5 meter by 2 meter screen that I can do with 2 of these. It fills the whole back of the stage. It looks absolutely fantastic. So that's what I take with me when I go out on the road. Keeps me out of trouble, helps me to deal with virtually any problem that we have, and the band love it because it all fits in the back of a car. So have fun, don't be late for loading.